Okay, hi guys, welcome back. I'm WIM Emily Nguyen,
And I'm Women's Grandmaster Sabina Foyshore.
and we're currently in round 6 of the 2022 National Middle School Championships. So the games have started broadcasting moves, and we can take a quick look at the standings before we start.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so in the K8 championship, it looks like we have one person with 5 points. Troy, who was the only one who won his game yesterday out of that group.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting game. I think both of us enjoyed seeing it, and there were other exciting games that did not happen the way we expected.
Yeah,
I think.
for sure. One of them being the first board.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like he's playing Brewington, Hardaway, the top seed.
Yeah, and yesterday they did have the chance to. I mean, Brewington almost lost his game against Eric Liu, but he kind of saved it. He was determined not to lose that game, had an exchange down, and then his opponent, due to lack of time, kind of decided to repeat the position, which...
Wish that happened to me more often. But it's okay.
That you saved games, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're winning, you want to win them.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, and then on the pairings, we just see a few more people with 4.5, and then just a large group of 4. So probably Brewington's really hoping to win this game, if he wants a shot at.
Yeah, that will bring him
championship.
back in the contention to win the tournament, potentially. But we'll have to see with... like in the standings, we'll have to see the Buchholz and, other tiebreakers, because... I mean, maybe that draw wasn't in his favor. I don't know how it will be counted, but I think everyone is gonna be named co-champion, so
Yeah.
it's a
I guess,
possibility.
5 years later, no one remembers who got first on tiebreaks. You just say I'm a co-champion.
Right, that's
Yeah.
true. That is true. I think, anyways, you say that, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun that I think there are events like this. By the way, you went and played some world youth championships, right? During your time. I was just curious to know, how did you feel with this difference? Because in the United States, the championships are by grade, whereas like when you go and compete outside for Pan American Championships, North American Championships, it's by age. Did you ever feel a difference, or?
Not really, honestly. I think because I started playing pretty young, so it's just you kind of get used to whoever you're playing against. I know at World Youth and also here, it's pretty much the same people always in the top seeds. So there wasn't too much of a difference. I definitely liked the World Youth a lot because it was 1 round a day, which was really nice. Less of a brutal schedule than
True.
championships here, but
That
it's
is
definitely
true.
different.
How hard is it in the United States to miss school, though, to take part in
It's
some competitions?
really hard. Yeah, I stopped going to World Youth after 6th grade because after then it just got too difficult to miss like 2-3 weeks of school and catch up. There were a few times like U.S. Women's Championships where after I got back I had to stay up just studying like the whole night, and then it took me like a couple weeks to catch up. Yeah, I guess did you ever have to deal with this?
Yeah,
when you were
yeah,
playing World
yeah,
Youth and
yeah.
stuff?
Of course, but before I went to high school, I told my parents I'm kind of determined to become a women's grandmaster, and I told them I want to do chess. So I chose a school in Romania that was it was a sports high school. So there were in my class there were kids who were doing, I mean, whatever sport they were doing in a way professional, like they wanted to be serious about it. So you actually were getting a grade from your coach as well. So you really like, it was easier to travel, but of course I still had to do the work. So when I was in middle school, that was probably the toughest part because it was the best middle school in my city. And I always had to stay up when I came back or take all my materials with me to tournaments.
Yeah.
But as you said, having a round a day was helpful in some tournaments because I could do the work, in the evenings after the rounds, and I was trying to catch up. And I had really nice colleagues that were taking notes for me And then when I get back, they would give them back to me. And it was nice to have that opportunity. I know it's different here, but that's how it went for me.
Yeah.
So I think that's why a lot of the times when these tournaments take place, they kind of have to set up the times like this with double rounds. I know it's so unpleasant, but I guess
kids can't really miss like a week of school for nationals.
I also find it interesting that the breaks that in the United States, because it's such a big country, you don't always have spring break in the same time, or so I guess it's hard to come up with a good time to
I think spring is usually I'm either really, really free or really, really busy. There's no like in between. But yeah, hopefully the kids competing here are doing okay with their schoolwork as well.
Yeah, and if you are a kid or a parent who's watching, I think both Emily and myself would tell you to make sure you find the right way to combine, right, school and chess. If you're passionate about it, I know you can find the time, right?
Yeah. It's difficult but doable.
Yep.
So since we have a few moves that have gone in, I guess we want to start looking at the games.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Let's get started.
We can start looking at the first board.
Yeah, that's
so we
gonna
see another Sicilian.
The Khan Sicilian. I think Brewington had black yesterday too, and he played the same, so he's doubling.
Right.
So this is, I guess, his main weapon. Against
Did they play this variation yesterday? I don't think so, right?
Not exactly, but no, because he had the pawn. Maybe he. Okay, I will double check it. I know. I will double check it to make it easier for us. But white went bishop d3, move 5, and then never took out the knight in c3. So that was
last game was bishop d3.
Yeah, bishop d3
with ideas of like c4, but here we see knight c3 right away.
Yeah.
So there's
no c4.
Yeah, queen c7, bishop d3, knight c6, and then takes, and then we see this kind of symmetrical pawn structure on the board. Yeah, both sides still look like they're in preparation.
Yeah, I mean, it's still theory here. I guess we're gonna see some castle, maybe. F4, I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe bishop e3, queen f3, or queen e2, and then just develop the rooks. I think white has a pretty pleasant position, easy to play, a lot of space. This knight looks a little bit awkward on c6 because it can't really go to any of these places because pawn on c6, but
I'm not super familiar with this line, but I think oftentimes when black plays this line, always has to be careful with the bishop in c8 because if you play e5 too soon, you may be giving that pawn may be weak, or you may be giving the f5 square if white is bringing the knight somehow back, and then probably you should go with c5 b5. I would think, and then you would love maybe to get c4 in as well.
I think definitely black has to play e5 at some point, or else white's just going to go like f4, e5, and then you're never going to be able to do anything with the bishop.
Agreed.
Also, you have to be careful of like this whole bishop h7 idea if that ever comes in, because e5 also just like locks in this bishop.
And someone was asking, a couple of people, why Khan is big in this tournament. What's up with that? Well, we don't know, I guess. We're just looking at Brewington. Maybe he's the one who's playing it. And also why d takes c6. You want to explain why they don't take with the b pawn in that position?
Is this a move?
Yeah, I think so. I think the reason they don't take in this specific line, I think it's tricky with d5, because although it's such a good move to bring in the pawn closer to the center, I think after d5 black is somehow stuck. That is my opinion. I'm not the biggest, the most knowledgeable person with this. People have tried it. I just know that once you play d5, we can even like play e5 at some point, and then...
Oh yeah, I think I've tried taking, not in this particular variation, but in other openings when in the Sicilian, when white has played bishop d3, I play like knight c6, and then they take... I've tried taking with both pawns. I'm still not too sure which one's better. I think in that line, both are fine. But yeah, I did run into some problems when I played like d5, and then my opponent just played f4, e5, and then this bishop is just really strong.
Yeah, you don't get the knight in f6. You're getting some kind of a French, but you're getting the b file opened instead of the c one. And you're kind of restricted, so if you don't find the right way... And white doesn't have the knight in f3, so as you said, f4 does come really fast.
Yeah.
So I feel like... Yeah, it's not...
Yeah, we did see castles played for white, so it looks like both sides are just developing, playing normal moves. Yeah, we'll see how this game goes.
You want to... Yeah.
Look at the next game?
Let's do that.
Okay. So
we try to catch up as much as we can, because it seemed like yesterday we didn't really get the chance. And by the way, if you are watching and there's any particular game that seems interesting to you, or you're a parent or a sibling or a friend of one of the players and you want us to pay more attention to the game, feel free to let us know, and we'll try our best to accommodate that specific game, because we want everyone to be, happy. So yeah.
Yeah, so on the second board we have Brian Tay versus Jonathan Chen. We saw Brian won a nice ending yesterday.
Yeah.
He was under some pressure, or time pressure, but he played that ending really well.
Yeah, he held on his nerves, and he had a pawn down, and he was able to not rush to get it back, but once he did, his c-pawn ended up just killing it. It was a King's Indian. If you were here yesterday, you probably saw that game. King's Indian / Benoni, and then he lost the pawn in b5, but then his g7 bishop became like a beast. Yeah. Another Sicilian, okay.
Yeah, so I think Jonathan is rated around 200 points higher, so he also really wants to win to keep up with the top few players.
And we have the Najdorf.
King h1. Is this theory?
Actually, I'm not super familiar with...
Oh, this is theory. King h1 is the second most common move. I think bishop e3 usually played more often. Yeah, I guess this just has the idea of wanting to push f4 and just getting out of this diagonal.
Yeah. And also there are ideas, of course, with bishop g5. The only thing in this particular line, the knight being in b3, it's much harder to get it to d5, of course, which is the square you want it to go to. But there are ideas with a4, a5, and then taking advantage of the square b6, which you've seen yesterday in that game of Brewington. So I think that's going to be...
Right.
It's going to be kind of cool to see what will happen.
Yeah. So, I guess, yeah, it's still pretty early on. Not much going on at this point.
Yep, still the opening. I guess they are in theory. Jonathan seemed to have played fast yesterday, but it looks like he is a little bit lower in time. And we are getting the times. Everything is correct. We are delayed by, I think, moves. So we're getting the moves a little bit later than we should.
So there's no suspicious activity going on?
Exactly. I mean, I doubt it would be, but just for safety reason.
So maybe we can just go down the list.
Yeah, nobody's suggesting any games just yet, so we can go to next game. And
are we betting another Sicilian?
Rohan, no, I think Rohan was a d4 player, so I don't know. Let's see.
Insider information.
I think no, he was an e4. Never mind. Maybe I'm not remembering the right person or something. Okay.
h4.
Wow, is this a thing?
I don't know. It looks like... Oh, he played it really fast.
Okay, so there was some prep going on for sure.
Everyone's playing really fast.
Knight b3, interesting. Wow, okay.
This is why I don't like playing against kids these days.
So someone is asking how much delay we have. We have 3 moves delay. So I don't know about the time, but we have 3 moves delay. So we're getting the moves later. Oh, it seems like this is Naroditsky's idea. Chessful is watching. Hey there. Got a few of my people joining in. Funny thing is, I did something. Should I tell people what I did before we went live?
Yeah, go for it.
So I saw, if you guys were watching US chess, for some of these, high school, middle school, and then the elementary is going to take place in a couple of weeks as well, that I do recommend you following US chess so that you stay notified when, US chess goes live. But when I did the commentary in Memphis 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of working with FIDE master Shankar Gauri, and I saw he was live, and since we were waiting for moves, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. Emily was looking at me like, what are you doing? I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go and tell him to raid us. And he said he would, so hopefully that's gonna happen. So hopefully, working for US chess sometimes has its some kind of perks that you can go to people. Hopefully he's not gonna hate me forever for saying that, or he will remember. We'll see if that is a thing. But yeah, lots of cool things are happening, I think, when you're doing commentary. I feel like I really enjoy being here because you also get the chance to meet some of the kids, especially at the girls' room. How did you feel yesterday? Did you ever do that? Like, did you ever go to the girls' room before?
No, they didn't really have that when I was playing. So I think it's pretty recent, maybe a few years. But I think this was my first time actually like going into the girls' room and giving a talk. Because usually I'm always a player at these tournaments.
Yes, of course.
But it was really nice meeting the people there. Yeah, they're really sweet.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the girls were very nervous when I went, and it was great to be able to kind of tell them, it's fine. I lose too. Yeah. Don't worry. Like, you can come back. And one girl came back. I saw her yesterday before we went live, and she was telling me that she won again, and she was really happy that I went over her game. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. So this tournament takes place in person. We are in Grapevine, Texas right now, and the tournament takes place here. And why there's a delay? Well, why not? Usually a lot of tournaments are choosing to broadcast their events with a short delay, I think. So anyways, so this is an interesting idea. I really like h4 because white will have the opportunity to go g4, g5 at some point and take advantage of the h6 pawn.
It's not g4. Yeah. And we see another backwards pawn, which is common in the Najdorf. I always didn't like this opening because I was always scared of like this d5 square, this d6 pawn always under pressure, but seems to be a common theme. And yeah.
I mean, I have a friend who keeps telling me I should learn this, and maybe I will one day. Maybe I'll learn the Najdorf, but there's so much theory. I think if you mess up a little bit, positionally, this is going to be really tough. Yeah. You have to always be on the look for tactical ideas, or else, as you're saying, the d5 square is very hard to meet. We have a request to show the board 601. Okay, I need to see if we have that board. Can you please let us know the names, because like we are not getting all of the games, so
so Benjamin Gordon versus Jonathan Hamill. Yeah, so we do have that game.
We have it? Okay, so we can catch up. Yesterday we were looking at some of these, lower rated kids, and it seemed like they were into their theory as well, which was really cool.
Like a early queen d6. No. Yeah, not a Sicilian.
Okay, but this is pretty typical at that level. I feel like a lot of players are going for the line. Okay. Very standard d5. Okay, they knew D5, that break.
Yeah, it just creates an isolated pawn probably on d4, opens up the bishop. So takes. Yeah, this pawn is nicely blockaded by black. Knight on d5 is pretty nice. Then we see a5, preventing just b4 ideas. Queen b3, attacking b7, maybe putting pressure on d5. And rook b8, h3.
Okay.
We see h3 a lot.
Yeah.
In a lot of these games. I guess when I was little, I was always told it was like a waiting move when you don't really have anything else to do, because it's like, why not get out of this back rank make,
right,
potentially. But here I guess it's not too weakening, because black doesn't have that dark squared bishop to potentially pressure h2 or something like that. Doesn't seem like he can get an attack too easily. Oh, b5
is that a
interesting move.
If bishop takes, is there knight b4? Knight, I don't know, somewhere discovery.
Then maybe queen a4.
Yeah, seems like it might. I would love to trap your queen in a4, but I don't see it.
Just like knight a7. Then after a4 you have c6. That looks pretty convincing. b5. Yeah, so I don't think you can take on b5. Maybe you have to retreat, like bishop f1 or something. Then this looks a little...
Knight f4, I don't know. Now you should be unhappy about the fact that you played h3. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a discovery.
But where? Right, b4,
queen d1.
Just queen d1. Yeah, and then this knight has to move.
Even queen c3 may work. Actually, queen c3, you're losing a piece, I think.
After here?
After knight b4, yeah. Can I play queen c3? Because if you were going to move the knight.
Oh, right.
And I think you don't have intermediate moves, so...
Yeah. So maybe just knight f4. But then maybe queen e3?
Queen d6, maybe? Knight e4. Yeah, I mean, maybe queen f6.
I like queen
still
f6.
Knight e4.
Yeah. So it's not too easy, because wherever this knight goes, you just attack it. Maybe just like knight d5 again. But I don't think they want to draw this early.
I think white didn't play yet. White didn't move the bishop yet.
I think he has to go bishop f1 though. Maybe bishop e2. But that just
But then it blocks
the
yeah. Bishop f1 seems natural. Unless he's going to be tempted to take the pawn. The players are... What is their rating?
Jonathan is 889, and then Benjamin
814. But you don't know. And they're both from Texas. You don't know with these players. I mean, they're really, you know, I mean, they could have trained so much during the pandemic, and now they are just back to playing over the board, and that could be really exciting.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think
definitely
over the board ratings aren't really indicative of their strength.
Not
so
right now.
A lot of them play like online a lot.
And also, as you were mentioning yesterday, sometimes there are not that many tournaments that take place. So, in specific states, so some of these kids don't really have the opportunity to train very much and get their ratings higher. Right. So, it takes a little bit longer. I think someone was
suggesting b4. Sorry, what were you saying?
B4 was suggested, yeah. Someone was asking us to check out board 13, I think. They were saying they messed up the move order. B4 is interesting.
Yeah, I like b4 because we were looking at discoveries with the knight, but
the only thing is I think knight to c4.
Knight c4.
I'm not really very worried about that b4 push. I mean,
do you have like a4? Oh, a4 just hangs a pawn. What about knight b6?
I mean, I'm protected, so...
Yeah.
I was gonna go back, queen c2 maybe.
Queen c2.
Yeah, after knight b6, queen c2, and then maybe I should be fine.
Can I grab
it's
a pawn on d4?
Can you?
Probably.
I mean, your a5 will hang though too, so I take in d4, taking a5, knight c6 is annoying.
Yeah, this doesn't look too great for black. Because c7 is also hanging.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll get back to this game. Certainly interesting. Let's go to board 13 for a second, and then someone else was asking for board 8. They did say it messed up the order, and it's funny when someone said that the Mark Esserman called the Italian game the poor man's Ruy Lopez, which I find it funny. Because, yeah, technically you do get into Ruy Lopez ideas, but anyways. Okay, so, no, this is theory. Knight takes c6. h6. Wait, d6. Wow, wait. What is h6? Can you go back a couple of moves? I think black should play with d5.
Instead of d6?
Yeah, instead even h6. I don't think h6 is the right idea.
Oh yeah, it says here d5.
Yeah. Well, I know this because I played it in a US championship against Dorsa Dorakshani, and I had a pretty good position. I mean, you're letting white capture the pawn, and then you take in c3, mess up the pawns, and then you are getting your pawn back. This is pretty standard. You cannot really afford with black to allow white to have all that center. I mean, so yeah, I'm really surprised about this h6 move. That doesn't seem right.
And then d6 after.
Yeah, it's a little bit passive. I feel like black has chosen a very passive approach. I mean, maybe it's not too bad. It's funny that after bishop c5, knight a4 was played. Okay, I mean I don't like knight a4 for white. It's not like you went knight a4 to actually take the bishop, because I think you're just gonna.
He did go to take the bishop, but then this fixes black's pawns.
Oh, would you take like that, or would you take with the a pawn? So there is this thing. Gauri was actually mentioning that to me, and I thought it was funny. He was talking about assets that you're getting. So he was saying the central pawns are... So this is not my thing, by the way, guys. I'm not trying to take his stuff and put it as mine. Shankar Gauri is known for this. You can check out the clips that US Chess has. But he was saying the central pawns are worth $1. C and F pawns are worth 90 cents. The B and G pawns are worth 80, and then the A and H, 70, 60, I don't know. So basically, every single time you were capturing towards the center, you were kind of gaining money. So he said that was the way he was teaching chess, and I thought it was really cool, because a lot of the times, I don't know, you might make the move out of instinct, but then it sounded really good, the idea.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I like to take with the A pawn, and then we're gonna have like a diamond shape thing, like c5 and then bishop b7, and
I guess from just like right away, taking with the c pawn makes a lot of sense, because it's just like these pawns kind of ugly,
right?
And it's just like automatic fix.
Yeah, the pawn in d6 also remains kind of backwards in a way, not exactly backwards because there's no c5 being played yet, but you won't really be able. Maybe you'll play d5 at some point. Someone was telling me that h6 was so that white could play e5. Okay.
E5 here.
No, whenever black played h6 and move 7.
Yeah.
EJ was saying to stop e5. I mean, I get you. I get what you're saying, but I don't think h6 is a good move. Emily agrees with me. d5, right? I mean...
Oh, I think they're saying, can white play e5 here? After h6.
Oh, that's what he was saying? Okay, never mind.
So
I thought
e5?
he was saying he could hold it.
What about knight d5?
Yeah, knight d5. Or just...
You have to play knight d5. No, you're going to play knight g8. Or it takes.
Even queen e7 could work in some situations. I mean...
But I guess after queen e7, white just castles. And then you have to move the knight anyways.
Yeah, so maybe you're right. Just go to d5 directly. It's fine.
Yeah, this looks fine for black. Maybe something to be worried about might be queen g4. Because you put some pressure here, and then you can't castle because of bishop h6.
True.
I don't know, this is kind of annoying, actually.
I mean, do I care about castling in that position? Maybe I just...
F8.
No, I just want to give you that pawn and then try to find a way to castle long. It's just like knight takes c3 maybe. I mean, you're taking b4, right? After knight takes c3.
Yeah.
And then
Knight d5.
yeah, I go back. But I mean, yeah, you're right. I give the bishop pair, which is not really ideal. Queen g4.
Also, it's difficult to castle long here because this bishop just is kind of awkward. And you also have to move the queen. And it's a bit dangerous to castle long, given that white has a bishop pair, the b file is open. I'd be a little concerned here.
You know, I've seen people even going back to g8. I mean, maybe we don't need to go in the center. Maybe I'm just like h6. I don't know. h6 seems so awkward. I mean, I'm really surprised. So Logan, I feel like I've seen Logan at some tournament. Maybe it's not the Logan I'm thinking about. That was board 13, right?
Yes.
I was just trying to figure out his rating. So Logan is 1800. Okay, Scheffer Logan. Okay, well, I mean, it's a tough position. It's going to be really interesting to see. With white, usually you're not in a huge rush to go for e5, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did that actually happen? Oh my god, it actually happened. Right?
What happened?
The game is actually played this way. He actually took in b6, which I'm... Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought...
But then black took with the c-pawn.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good decision.
Yeah,
personally,
for sure.
I would take with the A.
Yeah, because you just move the knight like 3 times or 2 times to take up b6.
Yeah, now his pawns. I mean, maybe he thought he would take anyway. So
b3 is also interesting. To play bishop b2, because black is missing that dark squared bishop, so we can see like the long diagonal. White potentially has some ideas to make pressure there.
Yeah, I like queen f3, g3 after that as well, rook d1.
Yeah.
And with the queen in g3, I'll attack both g7 and the pawn in d6, so it's going to be really annoying.
Yeah, so probably queen f3 here after rook e8. Does black have ideas of d5? But then maybe
you want queen f3 directly?
Rook d1.
It's necessary, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't really want to play rook e1 here.
Does it work?
Rook e1.
No, queen f3, d5, rook d1. That was a nice idea that you suggested.
Oh, but maybe you... No, you can't take with the knight, because then you just lose a piece. Wait. Yes. Yeah, maybe here. Maybe
Knight takes, bishop takes, and if... regardless of what, queen takes e4. It doesn't work.
Bishop b7. But then you can take. You can go bishop b2. I feel like white's comfortable here.
Yeah, but it's really sad. Like you play d6 and then you play d5. I mean, you're wasting time a little bit. Maybe here I can go queen g. Can I go queen g3?
Queen g3, maybe take on e4. Do I?
Or just bishop b7. Can I play bishop b7, b2, bishop b2 right now?
Oh, it's black to move. Do we take on e4?
Yeah, and then
bishop h6 maybe.
If you take knight takes e4 right now, I take with the bishop. Rook takes e4 and bishop e6. You want to take in e4 right now? Bishop takes h6. Yeah, knight h5. And
queen g4.
I mean, you get to take in d3. It's a double-edged position for sure. I mean,
I feel like I would be really scared here if I was black.
Well, if there's no mate, but there should be. Queen takes h5. If you take an h6, just rook takes d3.
Yeah.
Maybe you manage to hide yourself,
bad.
like queen f6.
Queen f6.
Rook g3. Maybe you're defending. Maybe you just are defending with the extra piece, like you told me you enjoy to do.
Actually, yeah, because queen f6 hits this rook.
King f8 now, or...
And you can't go rook e1 to block the king from escaping. Because that just hangs. So maybe not rook check right away.
This is really messy.
What if just here? Because then you have ideas of maybe like rook f3.
I think we're really far from the game at this point. Well, I think we can check back to it. I think we had a request for first board under 700, which is Chitra Thorn Nige against Yamini Jacob.
Oh, we see an ending already.
Wow, okay.
White seems to just be up in exchange.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we look from the beginning or just...
Like, just...
We can briefly see what happened.
Okay.
f6. I don't know if I like that.
Oh, man. So I've had a kid play against this so often. And I keep telling the kid, so people are playing f6, they go bishop c5 and then they play f6, and there's knight takes c5 and queen h5,
right.
And they just are scared to do it because they think it doesn't work, but it does usually work. And
so you're saying like bishop e5?
No, bishop c5, like instead of knight c6.
Oh,
some people are playing, and then or something. No, it's not like that. No, they just play f6, I think, second move.
F6
I've seen this.
move?
Yeah,
No.
I've seen this being played with my students on a number of occasions. Some of my students who are low rated, and then they don't want to go knight takes e5 because they're, but I'm giving a knight.
Oh.
Yeah, but you are checkmating, like.
Yeah, if g6, then you take on e5, win the rook.
Yeah.
King e7.
You just take an e5, bishop c4, and then you go h4 and.
Or just like...
Oh, wait. No, he can play d5 first. He's gonna go d5,
see.
yeah. I checked this whole thing. I was like, what? But anyways, don't play f6. This is such a... It's like, of course you want to protect the pawn, but the pawn is well protected, and you do need... That squares for the knight.
Yeah.
So that's...
And also, this bishop just gets like 10 times stronger when you play f6.
Yeah, and you don't get to castle. Yeah. Okay. So we can catch up and see what happened. Okay, so he went for some attack.
Okay, Szymanski's not moving his pawns. He needs to develop.
Okay.
Traded right away.
I mean, this position should be really good for white.
Yeah. Yeah, so black is temporarily up like one pawn. But his pieces are just so awkward. He does have the bishop pair, though. We saw that a lot.
True,
in the last
but
round.
like, yeah.
But, never mind. He does not have the bishop pair anymore.
He gave it up to mess up his pawns, but then he's gonna lose the b2 pawn eventually. Yeah.
Knight e2 and d4 was pretty nice.
And this is nice because at that level, you don't expect people to be so familiar with like going back, like making moves back. A lot of people are thinking just go forward, but sometimes you need to learn to do those things, and that's the cool thing about the pieces, and not so cool about the pawns, because they don't go back, and
black's just like
you leave a lot of
his pawns.
holes.
I like d5.
Wasn't 94 winning something?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
d5 is also nice, I guess.
e6.
Yeah, I think everything looks winning for white here.
And then he was just able to win the exchange. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go to board 8.
Board 8.
Yeah.
Evan Yin versus Ilya Lovka.
Yep. Someone was asking us to go to that game. Another Najdorf. Okay, lots of Najdorfs. I feel like this is a hint. This is a hint from the universe.
We see another f3.
We need to start at the knight f3. Okay.
This is probably book though.
This is still theory, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's some like English attacks.
But it looks like white did not go for the h4, which seems to be Naroditsky's idea, we were told. So I don't remember that. F3 will have g4 ideas, I'm sure. So
Yeah, wants to
Queen
castle
d2
long.
and long castle, yeah.
I've played similar positions with black here, but usually my pawn's on e6, and I play like bishop b7, knight b7, and I don't castle. But it's really, really sharp on a lot of theory that I don't know.
But if black doesn't touch the h pawn to go h6, I think it's not as easy for white to really open up the position.
But we do see
of course
pretty sharp position.
Okay, knight b6.
Knight b6.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
You don't, because you need to free that d7 square for
Maybe,
a knight.
Yeah, some ideas. Rook c8, seems
Yeah,
like that.
maybe sacrifices in c3.
Knight h5.
Knight h5. Okay, all right. So he didn't want to go to d7. Never mind. I thought he did.
Knight h5 is also pretty common sometimes, because if you can get this like blockade in, it's difficult for white to make progress. But you do have to be scared of like bishop e2, f4 ideas somewhere.
I like bishop h3 as well, but you need to look for knight c4, which seems to be coming in right now. I wonder if I can play queen f... Oh, okay. Okay.
Queen f2, knight c4. I don't know if I like knight c4 right away. Because usually you like to play when they can't take.
Yeah, but I will keep my bishop in e2.
Yeah.
I won't be taking it away very much. You cannot go knight f4. I'll probably take your knight and then I'll start more pawn march.
But he did take on c4. Pawn takes. I like pawn takes because you're opening up the b file, and a lot of times this knight is actually a really good defender and can be pretty annoying. But yeah, just kicking the knight away. Knight c5.
The only bad thing is that you're blocking your bishop e6.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of annoying. I like knight c5.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that white can play that move, because if you had to go to d2, then
you did something wrong.
Yeah, and then maybe d5 would be a thing for black to consider, really attacking the center and getting into the game. I think d5 works, hopefully. I'm seeing this correctly. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe not.
d5. What if...
I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong here. I mean, if you take with the pawn, maybe I'm not recapturing immediately. Does it work?
What if I take with the knight?
I feel like I'm just really wishing and wishful thinking. If you take with the knight, I'm happy because I will have c3. So I'll take with the bishop. Oh,
C3,
and then you want knight takes c4?
Yeah. But this does look a little bit dangerous. Oh. Actually, no. I think this is fine for...
Wait. Can I play queen c7? Sneaky.
c7.
Sneaky.
Oh, yeah.
Knight b6 is not over until it's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just move the
for
bishop.
the rook. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but why didn't you want to take with the pawn?
Take with the pawn?
No, not here. Like instead of knight takes, pawn takes.
Maybe, yeah.
I think you should keep the knight in c3 to defend, and then you're also stopping c3 for black.
Yeah, so probably not gonna take back. Are you? Take and knight c4 is stronger this time because I'm not down a piece.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I'm not happy there. So no, I wasn't gonna take. I was gonna move my bishop, but I'm just worried you still take in c4. So
Yeah.
maybe black is not as ready as I thought to play d5 just yet. But you know what? Okay, I always want, like, it's funny, when I first see a game, if I'm trying to do commentary, my first intention is to be aggressive. I don't know why. So I would look for the aggressive line. I think that's always exciting when you're doing commentary to show something. But you know what? What if we're just a little bit more cautious and we just finish our development, because that's important too. So I want to move my queen somewhere.
Queen a5.
Or rook b8
maybe?
also. Yeah. Just stay quiet for one more move, because what's your knight in d2 going to do actually? That's what I want to know. Queen a5, I wouldn't do that because I'm worried bishop b6 and a3.
Yeah.
I think that traps the queen.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Queen c7 or rook b8.
I like rook b8. You just stop any ideas of bishop b6 at any time. Not really worried about knight d5 because you can always like take.
Yeah, take, and I really want
c3.
c3. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a move that I'm 1,000% going to make it. Even if I give up a pawn, I don't care why. Then queen a5 after that.
Yeah.
That should be really.
I think black is pretty
idea.
comfortable here because
Yeah.
white's pieces are a little bit awkward, and it seems like it's easier for black to get some play in than white. But yeah, so.
So he went knight c5.
I mean,
this makes more sense. More aggressive, and you kind of have to
C7.
play in the spirit of the opening.
Yeah. He doesn't really want to take on e6 because we see like capture towards the center, make some money, and defend d5. So we saw knight 5a4, rook a b8, knight b6. I like this idea. Trying to control d5. Queen c6.
It's a pity black cannot take that knight.
Yeah.
It's a huge pity. I mean, I think you would really like to take it. Yeah, knight d5. Okay, white had a beautiful maneuver to bring his knight to the square. And he's taking advantage of the fact that black's knight stayed in h5. Black needs to find a way to get that knight as soon as possible into the game. Yeah, I love that. I love that that idea that white did here. Thinking, unless there's some way you can get to b2. You know, the thing is, though, if we play knight d5 right now, which probably we would, do you think black will go bishop d8?
Yeah, I'm thinking, so knight b d5.
Yes.
Right? Bishop d8. I mean, he has to. Unless he's gonna go rook e8, but I feel like that's just a really sad move to make. Bishop d8. Maybe?
You want rook e8?
No.
No, you were just... Oh, okay. I didn't know. I was like, what did you...
I feel like his pieces just look really awkward and
They do.
uncoordinated.
I don't like the knight in h5 at all.
Yeah. And you always have to be scared of like g6 because then it weakens like the f6 square. And then these dark squares are just really bad.
Right.
Maybe, what about like bishop?
Someone is saying rook dg1.
Rook dg1.
But why d? I mean, we like that d rook.
Yeah.
Maybe rook h. Yeah, rook h makes a little bit more sense, I think.
But also...
You don't have a threat yet?
Yeah.
f4 is the move you want to play.
I guess in opposite castles, like every tempo counts. So you don't really want to make like a waiting move.
Yeah. Queen b7 is a threat that black would have, and then if you go knight a4, there's going to be bishop d7 trying to get your knight away. Black is trying to attract you to play b3.
I really want to play bishop b6 right now, but it doesn't work.
No.
Which is unfortunate. I don't know. Actually, what does white play here?
Yeah, it is a... I thought it was kind of... What if, like, maybe when we were suggesting like rook d8, g1, was with the idea to go knight d1 and protect b2 or something. But it's not...
I kind of like this knight on c3 though, because it just supports d5 really nicely. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the idea with like rook hg1 is somehow you have threats of knight f6.
Do you?
I don't know.
I'll take with the knight in g6.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, yeah, then I'm weakening g7. Maybe you somehow will. No. And then I'll take your f6 pawn. I'll just take it, you know what? I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Take it and bishop takes. This is definitely a tough...
What about,
tough position on both sides. Opposite side castling is always
I really want to get into
tough to evaluate.
Yeah.
You need to find your open files and you need to make them work.
Because if white isn't careful, then black can start just like building up pressure on the b file.
Were we forced to go knight d5? Maybe we're not in a rush. Maybe we can still do something first, although bishop d8 is going to happen anyways. Bishop d8, bishop a5. That's the problem, I think, that we should be careful for with white.
Yeah, knight d5 just looks so natural here.
I know. I mean... I also like some idea. Okay, it takes too much time to bring the knight to g3.
Yeah, I really want to get in f4 at some point.
I was thinking, like, if we had time to double on the d file, but we don't, because if white plays rook d2 in this position, there's gonna be bishop d8 and chase the knight away once again, and then you do have to go to d5, and still not ideal.
Yeah.
What if we were to put the knight from c3 to d5? I mean, I know it's not really...
c3 to d5. But
You
then
don't have c3,
these
right?
knights look a little
Yeah, they're
awkward,
kind of
like they're just in each other's way.
c3 will be annoying.
Yeah. Because you can't really move this knight, because the knight on b6 is a little trapped. And then you can't move the knight on d5, because b6 hangs.
I think we should... wait, did they play after knight bd5, bishop d8 was played? What do you think? Let's try to do a guess the eval for like a second and figure out. I'm really curious what would be the eval in this position, because white's pieces seem to be placed amazingly well. I mean, on perfect squares, kind of like really, what more could you wish? But and black's knight in h5 is out of play and things, but he doesn't have the rook in f8 brought.
But it's hard to see what white can do here.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, the plan is something I'm struggling with. Like, maybe f4 is the thing. Yeah, f4. Actually, you know what? f4 has to be played.
f4 here?
Yeah. Like, if you don't play f4,
Yeah.
I really don't see what you're gonna do. So now that I saw f4,
I feel like white again.
I mean,
you have to take, or
maybe
else
I would give my eval a little bit better of a
f5
thing
is just
for
gonna
white.
be
I'm just gonna be like, it's 0.9.
0.9
0.9 before f4.
before f4.
Yeah. 0.1. EJ is saying 0.1. What do you think?
I think
I say 0.9. I don't know why I said 0.9.
0.72.
7.2. Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
0. Oh my god. Oh, it
Wait.
goes to minus. Okay. Just carry. Even after f4, is f4 even a move?
f4. They're saying, oh, queen b7.
Yeah, I was gonna play b3.
b4.
b4.
No, not b4.
b3. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the same because bishop a5. Oh man. Okay. It's much scarier for white than we thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, I would just let you take in b2. Do I really need to care about that? Like,
Oh, so you want to do that?
I want to
So
go
like
f4, f5.
5.
Okay, am I getting? Is it dangerous?
This is a little suspicious. Probably take. Knight
Bishop
takes.
c3 or bishop a5. Okay. Now I'm getting scared. Yeah. They are not by pieces, but I shouldn't be sacrificing them that easily. Okay.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I would be concerned.
This is scary. I
Yeah.
think we should let the players enjoy this a little bit more while we're looking at the next game.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they will spend some time here to come up with a good plan. Blacks, like, really seem kind of passive, but no, those ideas with bishop d8 are just really...
Maybe honestly like king b1, the idea of bringing the bishop back, just to defend b2.
Yeah, as long as there's no sacrifice. But bishop a5 will be played anyways, and you go bishop c1. Yeah.
Oh, we saw queen d2 was played?
Queen d2 was played, but how...
I'm not sure
what
I like that move.
Yeah, bishop a5. What's going on?
Bishop a5, or maybe honestly even queen b7? Because you can't play bishop a5 right now because e7 hangs.
Oh, sorry. Okay, right.
So queen b7,
b4, I guess. Does he plan to
B4?
go knight a4?
I feel like no way white plays b4.
Or b3? I mean, I don't know. b4 is because you're avoiding bishop
blocks.
a5.
I
Yeah,
mean, you can play bishop a5 anyways, probably.
Yeah, after queen d2, yeah,
Yeah.
you could. a3, though.
Yeah, true. But b4 is just such a counterintuitive move.
Yeah,
to
it seems more like an engine kind of move.
Yeah.
But you are having some ideas. I mean, if white plays this a lot, might be familiar with that idea. I have never seen it in this specific Sicilian. But yet again, I don't play Sicilian with either color, so what do I know? But
Yeah, this looks kind of dangerous for white. I don't really like queen d2 because you're blocking your escape path. And also it's not clear what the queen does on d2. But yeah, we'll see. We'll let white figure it out. Probably knows what he's doing.
okay, let's check out game 9, board 9.
Board 9.
Yeah.
Joshua Main versus Abby Rim. We saw Joshua had a pretty nice game last round with a bishop pair.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how he's doing here. He has a lot of time.
Another Sicilian? Man, was it closed at least? Okay. Okay, E5. Interesting. So, yeah, I've seen people trying to play this to avoid closed Sicilian, and then they're avoiding D4 idea, D4, which is very typical for white, of course. 92 is also... someone played against me, I think. It was like... Oh, I think US Championship last year. I was preparing against Nazi first round. And I should play some 92, and I was like, really? Really? You're gonna go, I was like, I'm gonna, I don't know what I prepared, but anyways, I did not prepare E4 first move. She was playing all this Reti stuff every single US Championship that she played, and then she goes E4, and I was like, really? Fine, I'm gonna play Sicilian. Let's see which one outplays which. And we're friends, of course, outside of the board, but when we play, it's always like serious. And then she went 94, and I was like, really? You're gonna play open Sicilian? But yeah, knight g3 is an interesting approach to bring the knight for the attack, I guess, later.
D6, bishop c4. All these moves look pretty natural so far. F3. So many people are playing F3, F6. What's the point here?
Why?
I'm not sure if I like this, because usually white likes to play F4 sometimes,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
Was he scared of like knight g4, bishop g4?
But, I mean, you can play h3 for that.
Yeah.
I mean...
F3 just
it seems...
looks kind of weird.
Okay, then maybe there's an idea we're not understanding, because he played it immediately, right? I mean,
after like a minute.
Okay, so
is this book move?
I mean... Is it?
No.
Okay, I was like...
Yeah, usually people cast it.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't seem so natural at all. Really, not at all.
This almost makes me want to play like something like h5 maybe.
Well, I have the opportunity to castle knight h1, knight f2, so I'm not so
true.
worried about that just in case. But knight f5 is an idea as well. It will be a little bit annoying.
Not really sure about f3. But yeah, black just castles, bishop e3. He doesn't really want to castle yet.
Maybe he wants to castle long and he's prepping, like at some point to go knight f5, g4, so that was the idea.
Oh, maybe he wanted to play bishop e3 originally, which is why he played f3.
Yeah, but I still don't understand why f and not h.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't see the point of the move. I may be wrong.
Maybe he wants to avoid the hook.
Well, it can happen on the other side too,
Yeah.
I think. But anyways, I mean, we do have quite some people watching us right now. So we do want to remind you that, okay, you're watching US Chess, of course, the middle school national championships that are taking place in person after, big break. Here in Grapevine, Texas. And if you don't know much about US chess, or you have a friend who's interested in getting to play over the board, and maybe you spend a lot of time during the COVID situation and you played online and you haven't played an over the board tournament yet, you can become a US chess member and you'll be able to get a real over-the-board rating, and also you get to have the subscription to Chess Life magazine, and you can get it online or a physical copy, and then there are lots of interesting articles that you can read and learn and about different stories that are happening not just in the United States but throughout the world. If you do want to join US Chess, certainly check out uschess.org/join, and you will be given all the details about different events. And the federation staff is really nice and helpful, and any kind of ideas that you have, they're always there to help. And feel free to join and ask questions. I think it's a cool thing for some people who've never tried to play over the board but became passionate about chess during these past 2 difficult years. So and if you like US chess, you can always check out US chess social media, like here on Twitch, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and tag us, and we'll try to get back to you if there's anything interesting. It's not Emily or myself who have access to those accounts, but there are, like I said, a lot of cool people who are more than welcome to get back to you and your concerns.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.
That would be awesome if you do that. And you can support US chess, of course, if you want. I think, I'm not sure what was the I don't know what's the exact link to it. I was not given that. But you can always support US chess by making a donation. It's something we wanted to let you guys know about.
Yeah, or if you don't want to make a donation, you can go to our chess store, buy handy dandy chess clocks, chess sets, chess books. There's awesome everything books that you would ever want.
Yep. Thank you, Datal, for sharing those links. Yeah, definitely lots of interesting things. And specifically here, the bookstore has been packed the past couple of days. You can check out a lot of deals, of course, on US Chess sales page as well. So cool stuff. And last but not least, we wanted to let you guys know about the podcasts. US Chess does have podcasts that come out weekly, and they feature interviews with players, personalities, organizers, and female leaders as well. And we believe those players make chess, the chess world, very interesting. And maybe if you're enjoying listening to podcasts, there are certainly some you can check out. So for that, you can go on uschess.org/podcasts. Everything is really as you hear. You just go on the main page / whatever you're interested in, and you can find it. Also, I do like the new page of US Chess, the new design and everything.
It's a lot nicer to, you can just go to a homepage, look around, see what interests you. Although I will say, it takes a little while to look up ratings. Yeah. I don't know if that's the case for you as well.
Yeah, that's true. That page has been a little bit slow. It's true, but you can see invitational information and for specific stuff,
and the calendar of all the national events if you too want to go to the 2023 National Middle School Championships. Yeah, or even elementary and high school.
Of course, you can register, and you can see all the information, and you can check out tournaments in your area. You can search the tournaments by state, and then you can see and connect to people. And find out about tournaments. Definitely, they're coming back over the board, which is really nice. And I'm looking forward to playing one myself very soon. But let's go back to board number. Someone was asking us board 601 once again, so I think that was.
I think that was 19.
Under 900 or I don't know.
Yeah, under 900.
Under 900. So it was Gordon Benjamin against Hamill Jonathan, right?
Yes. They played really quickly. So immediately we see black is up a piece, but it looks unclear if this is a temporary.
Yeah, because he's kind of pinned, and he might have to stay stuck there, and then there's 97, 96 coming right up.
Although I guess we don't really want to play right now.
Although, yeah, if we go knight
This
c6, bishop takes.
and then
Yeah, rook c7.
This is pretty solid.
I mean, it's just solid, but is black gonna be able to escape from that pin?
True.
Because we could go rook b7. And
I was also looking at rook e7, but it looks like they just play rook e7. It's not too clear.
Knight f4, knight e6, or...
Yeah, maybe. King f8.
Knight g6. I'm happy with the draw.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I guess king f8 I could play d6 as well. I'm threatening knight e6, which will be annoying.
Ooh, I kind of like d6.
Yeah.
Because they're also... Yeah, knight e6, knight c5 is pretty annoying.
Yeah, or knight c7 depending on what you do. And maybe you can somehow find a way to escape from this situation, but it's going to be a little bit tough.
Did play rook e7.
Nice. It's going to be difficult for black to escape from that. What about if I play king h7?
King h7?
Yeah.
But then a7 hangs, right?
Yeah, I guess I would make a draw in that case. We don't want to draw, probably. We have the extra piece. We're going to try to find a way to save it.
Do I want to play bishop e8? No, because then you just move the knight, and then I have to worry about this guy.
It is a tough position.
I'm thinking maybe just rook d6. Because, like, if I have to cop out and lose this a7 knight, I might as well win the d5 pawn.
I mean, I'll go knight f4 as I wanted in the first place.
Right.
Since king f8, I just go back, and I'm okay with the draw with white. You cannot move. You're kind of stuck. I mean, that's black's problem here.
Just have to go, like, rook e8.
Okay, but I just trade. I take the knight, and I guess you want to go...
Yeah, 2-result game. Maybe g...
yeah, but...
yeah. So...
Maybe it's going to be a draw. I mean, it depends. If it could get a little bit... Was that played?
Yes. But then just, like, knight h4.
Well, yeah.
Probably has to go knight h4, right? Actually, no, can go knight f4 as well.
Yeah, but knight h4 does come in with tempo. I like that move a little bit more.
And then you just win the bishop.
Yeah, the knight is...
Or the knight back.
Yeah. Black has to be careful, at least get the d5 pawn, otherwise he will stay with the pawn down after all this. It's not really a very ideal situation, I think.
Right.
So, something to think about. It's...
Yeah, I don't really like black here. Looks like white's just going to win the piece back, be up a pawn.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. It's a tough position. Let's go back to board 8. People are requesting that move.
Board 8?
Board 8.
Oh, this was the sharp opposite side castling we saw. So we didn't see queen b7 after queen d2, which we really liked, right? With ideas, just like attacking b2, bishop a5, things like that. But instead, black played rook e8, probably with the intention of bishop a5, because we said earlier that we wanted to play bishop a5, but then knight e7 forks. I don't really like rook e8, though, because it seems like the only purpose is to guard against knight e7, when it seems like queen b7 could have done a better job, because you take care of both of those things.
Yeah.
But you do it with the tempo.
I wonder what he might have not liked after that move.
After rook e8.
Someone was suggesting king b1, but it looks like knight b1 was played. So what, white wants to play c3 if queen b7? Is that the idea?
Probably. Or maybe he wanted to also defend against bishop a5.
Yeah, but b2 is going to be an issue now.
Probably has to play
c3, but then, I mean, if there's going to be a way for black to get a knight in d3, you'll be losing here.
Yeah, I don't really like this change for white. Seems like black is the one putting a lot of pressure now. Because there are always ideas of maybe like taking on d5, knight f4, things like that. Because you don't have the two knights supporting each other anymore. And this knight just looks really sad on b1. It doesn't seem
You
like there's
know-
an immediate future.
What about bishop takes d5, pawn takes, and then e4 here for black? Will it go f4?
E4. Ooh, if you take, then there's always this
Knight
nice
g3, yeah.
idea.
That's why I thought f4 was kind of necessary. But now I do have also the same idea, and then I bring my
G3,
knight to
f5.
yeah.
Probably don't want to go rook g1.
Okay, well, wherever you go, I'll still go knight f5.
Something like rook h3. Yeah, this looks pretty good for black, honestly,
yeah.
because
You got
this
no
pawn
attack.
is pretty strong.
Yeah, and you got no attack, and the knight in b1 is really badly placed. White suddenly got so passive. I mean,
Yeah.
we thought, I mean, White still had something. I mean, he must have messed up somewhere along the lines of his attack. Maybe he rushed with g5. I mean, I know these are very typical ideas to go for g4, g5, but I feel that sometimes you are letting your pawns be blocked, and then your attacking ideas won't work as great. So, queen b5 was played.
Yes. Maybe he really wants to go bishop a5.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so, I mean, he chose queen b5 to queen b7. I mean, it is a little bit more active.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no to that.
Oh, you're threatening me.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, c3, or is b4 still a move that he can consider? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll just go
But then
a5.
you can always, like, take, right? Take and then take on b4.
True. I mean, in
'Cause
the
then
worst
the knight
case.
Can't
Yeah.
recapture. b4. What about... No. Yeah,
No,
a5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem very...
But then you can always just...
And then
Retreat.
b5. Is this a thing?
Actually...
But then you go a4 and bishop a5 anyways.
Yeah.
And you will lose the b5 pawn. You moved it a little bit too much. Okay. While we're waiting on this one, everyone is saying on board 5 there's some tactic going on. Something's happened. Okay, we did not check this game before, so it is Jed Sloan. Jed is a very tactical player from what I remember. From North American tournaments.
Some kind of Italian. b4.
So yeah, so he took him b4. He sacked the knight. Tougher is saying he's surprised Jed missed it. So I don't know. Can you go? Okay, so what did he miss now?
e4, I assume.
I mean, maybe he's okay to give up. No.
No, this looks pretty bad for white. Because you're not just losing an exchange, you're losing the rook on a1.
I mean, I have an extra piece right now, so.
Yeah. But then, if you move the rook...
Yeah, you'll take an f3, but I
Yeah.
mean, I don't care as much. Like, what I'm more worried about is knight d5, knight d4. So, I mean, let's just say I go rook a3, for example, in this position.
Rook a3.
Yeah.
Do I want to take on c4 maybe?
You
or
can.
maybe instead of e5, you take on c4
The
first.
problem is, rook a3 was nice, but I cannot, like, you taking c4 if I take with the pawn, you taking f3, and I can't take with the rook. That's my problem. I cannot take
Right,
with...
yeah.
I was going to take with the rook and be like, okay, I saved myself, but I cannot. Okay, so you want to take in c4 first.
I actually kind of like this more, because if you move the knight or get out of... Maybe you play rook a3 here, which is something like knight b4. Oh, you can't play knight b4.
I was gonna go for some attacks, but I don't see how. Wait, you wanna go knight b4? No, your
No, yeah,
knight will
you
be
can.
hanging, I think.
Yeah.
So rook a3. No,
Yeah, probably not bishop c4 then.
Okay, you kind of have to go e4, I think.
Yeah. And then if rook a3.
I mean, though you could play bishop c4 and then stay with an extra pawn. Extra pawn is good as well. I mean, you don't need to go too crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like at worst, black is just comfortable enough a pawn. Do we think bishop c4 or e4 is better?
I'm trying to come up with some comeback for white with some attacks in h7. The problem is with e4, if I take, you take in c4 first, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. No, okay, so he took in c4, looks like, right? Or no? No, he didn't. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so black's thinking right now.
He's trying to make up his mind which one he's gonna play, that's for sure. I mean, e4. So what I want to do is give up the rook and then come up with a way to keep my queen opened up so that I have knight g5. That is my thinking process. I'm just not sure what's the best way to make it happen.
So do you want to take on e4 with the pawn?
Yeah. And then you take an a1, right?
Mm-hmm. But you always have these knight d4 ideas that just like trade.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. So is queen c2 really just...
So that was a blunder. You just had to develop.
Yeah, maybe something like bishop b2.
These positions are a little bit tricky when you're letting the opponent... Or you could take the knight in d5, although you're giving the bishop pair, which is not really ideal.
Or maybe even like knight d2 here. The idea of knight e4. Although you always have to be worried about black kicking it. But it looks like black played e4 right away. So will we see rook a3 maybe? It doesn't look too promising to give up the rook, because black always has these other ideas of just like trading everything off.
Yeah, the knight d4 is super annoying.
I think all of black's pieces are just doing so well, and then you see like white's pieces. Kind of tragic.
It is. It is a little bit tragic. I mean, I just feel bad about the... Not the grabbing in f3, but the grabbing in f3 and messing up the pawn structure around the king. That's the problem. And then, as you said, knight d4. It's...
Yeah, there's like knight d4, knight b4, knight e5.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't it. Yeah, I don't know what white can play here.
And we're not even getting a pawn for the exchange, which is the... He played rook a... No, that's you. Okay, never mind. Maybe I could do something like rook takes e4.
Rook takes e4. Maybe I'll take on c4, because
that's what I was hoping for.
Rook a3.
Yeah, or just taking c4, and when you take in a1, some
d4
tricks
ideas.
with rook h4, knight g5.
I see.
I mean...
Maybe I don't want to take on c4 then. What if I just take on a1?
I was gonna take an e6 with the bishop, but I'm not getting enough.
Yeah.
And now maybe... Yeah, I'm not getting enough.
You really want to play d4 at some point.
I do, yeah.
To block this bishop from coming back. Because I feel like if black is able to get bishop f6 in...
Yeah, but I just never had the chance, because you always take it.
Quite winning, yeah.
It is tough. I mean, if he finds some way to come back from this, that would be amazing. But it is certainly a tough position, I agree. Let's check out board 2. And also we should go back to board 1. I mean, that board is kind of important for the standings as well. So board 2, we had that Najdorf, right? We had the Najdorf Sicilian.
We stopped that around king h1.
Yeah. We weren't sure if that was theoretical or not. And then a4, okay, very typical idea. We've seen it yesterday. Board 20 was stalemate. Okay, we'll check it out. That's funny. They already finished the game. Okay, we'll check it out later.
F3 again. F3, I guess, makes sense here.
Yeah, in this case,
Yeah.
it does make sense, yeah. You're protecting e4, and then, of course, you will have maybe even g4, g5 ideas later. But mostly, I think white is going to focus on the d6 pawn, maybe. And
Knight b4 pretty common as well.
is a5 an idea, or are you threatening anything? d5.
Ideas of d5. I guess bishop b6 looks pretty natural. Queen d7.
No, I think if black manages to play d5, he's okay.
Yeah.
He's equalizing.
So probably not a5 here, because I think the idea of knight b4 was to go d5.
Yeah, but I don't see a way to stop it. You have 4 pieces controlling it. I don't know how I can put more. How I can restrict you, and I cannot go knight d5 because you just take it. How strong are these players? So for Brian Tay, so white player, is 2068, and Jonathan Chen 2265. So Jonathan is the higher rated one. Brian Tay is a very, very aggressive player. That's from what I remember. I did work with him a while back.
Yeah, how to stop d5.
Yeah.
f4 I was looking at for a hot second, but doesn't seem to be too good.
Why?
I don't know. It just looks.
Well, at least if he takes, bishop takes, and then you can go e5. By the way, if any of you guys wanna check out the broadcasts of the games, you don't want to listen to us or just check out and let us know what games are interesting, you can always check out the broadcast on this link that I've just posted on HS, and you can check out the games that are being broadcasted with a little bit of delay to avoid any suspicious activities. And I think it would be great if you have someone you're rooting for and you want us to pay more attention to. You're welcome to let us know, and we'll try our best. I like you f4 actually.
Really? I'm not sure I like it.
Well, that's the only way that seems that would stop d5.
Right. So, I guess.
I think there were a couple more moves played. Okay, so you played rook f2. Oh, so he allowed d5. It. Okay, I mean.
But now black's just fine.
Yeah, I think black equalized.
Rook f2.
What was the idea? Like bishop f1, rook d2 maybe?
Just that's a little bit slow.
It is.
Because knight d5 comes in with a tempo, and you have to do something about this bishop. I don't know, I really like black here.
I think black is just totally okay in this position. There's not so much to do.
Should we go back to board 1?
Board 1, yeah. Let's check out board 1. I mean, so on board 1, we have one player who's playing the white pieces, Troy, who is, what is his rating?
I think around
2209, and he's playing against Bruin Hardaway, who's on 4.5. So Troy is the one with 5 out of 5. Bruin has doubled black in this game, so if Bruin manages to win this game, he'll have a big shot at winning the championship next round if he does win as well. Depending on what other results are being made, of course, but he's the top seed, and definitely, I think he's trying to go for the title.
Yeah.
He didn't just lose his chances just by drawing yesterday.
So here we saw how they captured on c6, took with the d pawn, got this whole pawn structure going on, and then white played f4 here. I guess we talked about how that was an idea with f4, e5. So black wanted to avoid that, and he played e5, which we also said he has to do at some point. But I don't know, because takes...
Yeah, I think someone was saying in the other game it was not just equal. Yeah, I mean, black is better.
Yeah.
I mean, he equalized with plus, like, definitely in the other game. I agree. On board 2. Rook f2 was probably the blunder in that position. We did not check with the engine to see, but I believe Rook f2 was the blunder in the previous game of Brian Tay.
Is this theory? I don't know what's going on. It is theory. King h1?
That seems nice, because if you take, bishop takes, and then you're not in a rush to do things in this position.
e5 I would be a little scared of playing. But it's supposedly theory. So after the takes, queen f3. I'm not sure what's going on, but he castled long. Is this a move? No way, this is a move. Okay.
And someone is asking if Troy beats Brewington, if he's champion. I mean, he would still have to at least draw last round to secure first place, or
if the 4.5s draw each other, then he'll be a full point ahead.
Yeah,
so then he secures at least co-champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not clear just yet, but he has big chances. Yeah, but
I guess Brewington really wants to play for the win because he castled long.
I like the fact that he did allow those pawns to be doubled there, so it kind of keeps white restricted. White has an extra pawn, of course, but the bishops are being closed.
I like this idea of bishop c4 though, because it capitalizes on the knight being kind of awkward here, and then maybe potentially you want to get in some like e6 stuff.
Yes,
but maybe just like we saw takes and then bishop e6 back.
And that was played. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's pretty solid for black. Again, bishop pair.
I like black's position here. I think he has plenty of compensation. I'm anticipating some g5s coming up very soon. Maybe bishop e7 first. White's gonna have some trouble building up some attack on the king side. Sorry, on the queen side, to attack black's king in c8. I would go bishop e7 here if I were black.
Bishop e7. Yeah, with g5 coming.
Yeah. And then maybe h5 and just start my pawn march. The bishop in e6 is perfectly placed. Yeah, keeps f7 protected, and we're not too worried about things.
Because this is the bishop that that white is missing, so you can't really ever get rid of it too easily. Maybe somewhere down the line, but I don't see this happening anytime soon. This knight is just really awkwardly placed on c3 because it looks like it's kind of in the way for the queenside pawns. It can't really do anything on d5 or b5. And it looks like black's attack is just coming a lot more easier. Like there's an open position here, so obviously bishops are going to be better.
The only thing that I can think of that would be annoying is to do something like queen f2, bishop e3 and try to get on the dark squares on the queen side that black is weak, but okay. Let's check out that board 20. That was stalemate. I was just curious, like what's stalemate? You can go towards the end and just see lots of blunders. So when okay, they're
playing really fast, but was this the game where we saw the whole knight bishop thing?
Oh my god, white.
Wait, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, they exchange. Yeah, we did see this. Yeah,
we stopped at around here.
So just let's see the stalemate that happened, and then we'll go to board 14 after that.
No, you're up a rook.
How did he stalemate? You could have gone a little bit lower to see the final thing. It's fine. Oh my god.
Bruh.
Oh my god. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful thing that Black found.
Do you have to take it though?
No,
You don't have to take it.
No, you can go king g1.
Yeah,
but then
rook f1.
Rook f1, king g2. I don't
No,
think
are you taking this?
You can probably hide somehow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because if rook f.
Oh, when this happens, it's really sad. But it's okay. Both players get to have something to learn from this game.
It
so
happens.
yeah, let's check out board 14.
Board 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of Sicilians, like Najdorf stuff going on.
Oh, b5.
What?
Interesting.
Cool. Good idea. Bishop a7. Okay.
Wait. Can you not take on b5?
You can, but then I'll take and then a4, and I'm not sure you will survive that. I take. Wait, yeah. a4. I mean,
Probably, yeah.
you have to go knight a1. You don't have knight c5 like in the other game, and your knight will be pretty trapped in the corner. Okay, and
g4.
very typical. Okay, h4 I guess. No, g5. Knight h5.
I don't know if I like g5 right away.
I feel like people keep doing this. I wonder if h4 h5 is not a better idea for
then
white.
you prevent black from going knight h5.
Yeah, the only thing is I don't know if we have sufficient time, because a4 may be annoying, and then d5 is a thing we have to look for. I mean, d5 doesn't work, so we're good on that. But ideas with a4 could be annoying. So, is a4 a thing?
I don't think because you just take. You can't really. You don't want to take with the knight.
Yeah, no,
bishop
b3. Yeah.
So pawn takes.
Maybe you can go.
I don't know if this is enough.
I want to sacrifice. But I don't.
I really want to go d5 at some point.
Yeah, but g5 will be happening, so.
Yeah. I don't know. So, you play g5, knight h5, king b1. King b1 looks a little bit dangerous as well. Because if the a file ever opens up, you want your king to be able to escape.
Yeah.
But rook f8. Knight a4. I think this is solid.
Well, the queen will move and then bishop d7.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe not very solid. Look, ab8.
It's not as easy. It's not as easy as it looks, but.
I don't know if I like rook ab8. It seems like rook was good on a file to support a4 coming at some time. But after rook ab8, rook hg1. Not sure what the idea behind rook hg1
g6
is.
are typical ideas, but I don't think here it does anything for white.
Yeah, because it's difficult to proceed with white's attack.
Queen b5 was played, and then h4. And is there sacrifice? Like, can black just go bishop takes b3 after those next two moves were played?
Bishop takes. Guess you have to go knight c3. Maybe knight b6 is also a possibility.
I mean, I take in c3. You can't go knight c3.
Oh yeah, you cannot go knight c3. Yeah, so you have to go knight b6.
Okay, maybe you're surviving still.
You don't want to.
No, I
take with the rook.
Well, why not? I'll have two pieces, right? I can take.
Yes. Wait, how'd you get two pieces? I thought. Okay. Wait, how are you up a piece? Black's up a piece?
Yeah.
Wait, since when?
Yeah.
Wait. Yo. Oh, wait.
Yeah, the way he took an a4, right?
Oh, so b5 was one apiece?
Should have taken b5.
But then we saw the whole a4 idea. But maybe he had to do that.
I thought he was able to take it back. But he wasn't able to take it back. I mean, it's game over.
Oh, so
It's game
b5 is
over.
just really nice. Yeah, so black is just up a piece. Oh, so yeah, you just play normal moves.
I mean, white has some ideas, but
I don't think...
you think not?
Yeah, because it looks like...
So you don't want to go bishop e3?
Probably not. I mean, you could, but it's also like...
But you need
you're
to
up a
somehow
piece.
break. I mean, you can go d5 at some
I like
point.
queen b4, just trading.
Yeah, true. You don't need to go crazy. Okay, let's check out board 4.
Board 4.
I think we didn't check board 4.
Yeah. Not a lot of moves have been played so far.
Oh, okay. Transposing to a Pirk. Bishop d3. Okay, so he did play with c3. Okay, 5. Knight f1, I assume? No, knight c4. Okay, knight c4. Then I will be brought to...
Oh, b4.
Nice, to sub knight c5.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go a5, probably a3 may happen. And then if you take, c takes. And then
Right.
you're totally fine.
Knight h5 is interesting. I guess... Do you want to play f5? Knight f4? I don't know.
Knight f4 probably. I'm more tempted to go knight f4
Yeah.
because if you're gonna take, pawn takes, and then c3 is hanging, there's the e5
Oh,
outpost.
actually, yeah, there's the bishop here. So
Yeah, the
F5
bishop in
is
c2.
not ideal.
I mean, I think it's gonna go to b3. I'm assuming he
Mhm.
would put it in b3. That seems the right thing to do for white, especially now that you went to h5. g3 is an option, but oh, he played it. But the bishop is in c2. It's not really ideal to play g3 if you put the
Right.
bishop on the other side of the board, and then you can't get it to g2.
Maybe he's just very worried about knight f4.
He probably was.
Because we always see like g3 or g6 as a common idea against this whole knight h4, knight f5 stuff. But was knight f4 really that bad?
I mean, where were you gonna move your queen?
True. Yeah, so I guess g3.
Black after that could consider g5, g4 even.
Yeah.
Because you don't have sufficient pieces to actually put pressure on my king. And it's not so easy for white to get the knight in. I mean, you could get your knight in f5 through e3, I guess.
Queen e6. I like bishop b3.
Yeah, but now that you weakened your king, there will be ideas with queen come... you want to go knight g5 if I go queen h3?
Yeah. Or ideas of like even knight d6, bishop f7 or something like that, and then knight g5.
Well, right now you don't quite have a threat, because if you take in b6 or if... you want to take in e5, actually. You do have a threat. So bishop a6 will not work. I was thinking maybe I'll just get in bishop a6, but it's not as easy.
Bishop a6.
No, you just... I think it's not. Can you, though? Bishop takes e2, bishop takes...
e6.
No, you lose a piece, right?
Yeah.
I take in e6. And then if you take in d7, I take in f3. And your knight is trapped.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
So that's 2 pieces, even.
Oh. Yeah, so we saw queen c6
Okay.
being played.
I thought bishop a6 was interesting.
Yeah. But I guess that doesn't work out.
Yeah, queen c6 is going to try to take advantage of white's g3 weakness and maybe consider eventually some f5 after king h8.
I feel like queen c6 just looks a little bit awkward though, because it's not very clear.
I would go a4 if I were white here.
Yeah, I don't think the queen looks too great on c6.
White play knight g5? What? Oh, he wants to go crazy. Knight f7, knight e5. Very nice. Very nice discovery, double attack kind of thing.
Can I go bishop a6 now? Or is knight f7 a thing?
I mean, you
or
have
maybe
to...
even like knight e5. Right. Because if you take...
No, but I will take an e5. and then c3 is maybe hanging, and then there's knight.
Too many pieces are
Knight
moving.
f3. Yeah, you cannot do that. But you can go maybe knight takes f7 here still. Because you have to take with the king, then knight e5. Where are you moving the king exactly? King f8. I take king c6, and if you take an e2, your rook will be hanging.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking.
You can't.
Knight
take
g5
on
is not. Why?
Or I guess because the whole knight e5 thing, but.
You can. I thought you said you can't. I was like, seems good. Seems like a nice idea to consider.
Seems like black has. No, this is not good. So I guess bishop a6 is very good, but.
I liked so after knight g5, I like for white this idea with the a4 b5. You are weakening a little bit your position, but what is black actually gonna do with his queen? He probably should bring it to f6, and then I like that idea before knight g5, but maybe you could play a6 and try to stop things for a while. This position is a little bit unpleasant for black. I mean, let's just make an evaluation thing. We haven't done that in a while, and I feel like, I don't know, is it the morning or something? I'm not very good with with figuring out who is better. Apparently, I'm going for the other side, but I would give white some advantage in this position. Probably, I would just say like +1.
+1. Okay. I'll say plus 1.17.
Okay.
Okay.
1.6. Wow.
Okay. I'm getting closer.
That's great.
Yeah, it seems like he has to go rook f8 or else this whole knight f7 just comes. And black did indeed play rook f8.
Yeah, but this
just looks bad, yeah.
Yeah, a4, my idea with a4 seems like it's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good. Bringing in the knight towards d5, of course. White took definitely advantage of black's waste of time with the queen. Way too many moves with the queen. These are the types of ideas you want to avoid, especially. I think these are very hard positions to play, to tell the truth. These symmetrical positions where, someone has a fianchetto bishop in g7, or could be g2 as well, and then, or both bishop fianchetto, and the other side doesn't have them fianchetto yet and is trying to get more space. You really have to be careful with how you're maneuvering your pieces.
Yeah, I think in symmetrical positions, like extra tempi really
Can
matters
matter.
a lot, and just whoever has more space.
Yeah,
for the
black
initiative.
probably was very much worried about, not worried, but he thought he can do something on that a8 h1 diagonal. He probably thought, I'm gonna get f5 and open up, but it's very hard to actually get to it because white is first and your queen has traveled way too much to get to c6.
Yeah.
So
So knight e3 was played, not your a4 b5 idea, but maybe this has the idea of going
knight
knight
d5. Yeah, I like that.
something like
I
that.
like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretending like it's giving up the c3 pawn, but you can't take it because of
Bishop b2.
B or D?
Probably D.
D.
Yeah, and then queen. Can you go queen d4? Wait, can we take this pawn?
I'm trying to figure out different. You do want bishop knight d5, but you have to get the bishop out first. So.
What about like rook d1?
Yeah, I think you're not in a huge rush to get your material back. You'll also have ideas once the queen goes away with queen c4, but you don't want to do it just yet, not right now. Even knight c4. I know it's kind of slow, but I want to try to trap your queen. I want knight f3 back and just trap your queen.
Oh, I see.
Maybe you can go bishop a6 and try to escape this dangerous situation.
Bishop a6, and I have to do the idea of bishop c4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bishop takes c4 and the queen goes back. Okay, maybe you're escaping. But, okay.
Wait, so after queen c3, what if you just play something like bishop a3? Because then you have ideas of like rook c1, rook d1,
yeah.
and then you're also threatening like b5.
Yeah, if he goes
At
queen
some
c6, b5.
I like bishop a3.
Yeah, you don't need to rush to take the queen immediately.
Yeah, no, this looks pretty bad for black.
Definitely. Let's check out board number 6. Someone is suggesting that black is gonna be winning. Ooh, how many
That's
extra pawns? Way
Three
too many.
extra pawns?
3 extra pawns. How did this happen? That pawn? I feel like I've seen this kind of position happening before where you are allowing a pawn to get to d6. It seems like your bishop in c8 is gonna be totally restricted, but you somehow come out of it alive. Was it what was it, Nimzo? Yeah, Nimzovich. Okay. Yeah, I mean Nimzo. Anti-Nimzo. Alright. Oh wow, this endgame.
c5. This looks a little dangerous. The whole castle queenside and then c5 thing, because then you just open up the b file, which looks like. Oh, he's really
I just don't
aggressive.
understand why he didn't take him b6. I
Yeah.
mean, is rook takes b6 gonna be the answer to that, or? But I mean, we can play king c2, rook b. We cannot. Oh, that's a cool line. You can show it. Rook takes b6 if king c2, rook b8, and if rook b1.
Bishop
You can just
d3.
take maybe, or I guess it doesn't matter, taking b1 or not, and then bishop d3. That's a pretty nice line. You need to try to avoid. Okay, so that's why he didn't take, but he does want to get rid of his double pawns. He could have tried knight d2 instead of going c5.
Yeah.
If black would have taken, I guess white would have played maybe d5, but this way.
Knight a5.
And bishop
you always have like
f1.
bishop f1.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you can go.
And then you're
You're gonna play
solid.
c5 with black probably, and then rook c8 and
But then you always have
d5.
d5.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to open up on this side.
True, but I mean, you will be maneuvering your knight back to d6. Maybe you take in but c takes, and then c4. Yeah, takes. C takes, and then maybe c4, b5, and then bringing the knight to c5.
Then this leaves some squares weak. Right, like knight e5, knight b4.
Yeah, but I'm getting c5 too, so
Yeah.
double-edged position.
I don't
I
really
think.
like c5 though.
I don't like it because you can't take in b6, because you want to get rid of your double pawn, and did he manage to? I guess black just grabbed pawn after pawn after pawn, and then white didn't really have any opportunity to come back into this game.
White was just playing pretty like aggressively with his pawns.
Yeah, and then black started taking them, and then there was not so much you could do.
Wait, so it's still no, black is up a pawn at this point because he took on c5.
He's just up a pawn, but
How did he lose the other
how
two?
how did he not like the
Oh, I
bishop in
guess-
c8 is so restricted. How did he manage
I
to?
think rook e7 was.
Oh, he just
Yeah.
blundered the pawn. He probably
Okay.
just blundered knight d5. I mean,
That's tough.
because if you play knight d5, I go bishop c4, and
What
then
about like c4 here? Oh, but then bishop a6. I don't know. Because you said like black bishop is bad on c8. But you just give black a few more moves. And it seems like they're chilling. Because you have c4 coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe knight e5 with the idea of knight c4. But then this doesn't do much because you can always go bishop a6 after knight c4.
Right.
I don't know. This doesn't look too great for white. But then this really doesn't look too great for white. Yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean, you lose. He basically lost everything, and then black was able to even get rid of his, bishop in c8. That is gonna be tough. This is gonna be a tough loss for white. Let's go back to board 1 and see what's been going on there. Looks like Brewington
Not
was
his
able to
bishop.
grab. Okay, so he did play queen b6. Okay, tried to trade. Really wanted to get his pawn back. Okay,
I don't really like this, progression though. Compared to the other position, we saw black was doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, I mean, he
'Cause
chose to
said-
trade the bishop.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. He got his pawn back, but that pawn wasn't necessary to be cut that soon, I think.
Maybe he was worried about his dark squares with the whole bishop.
Yeah, with the bishop. That's why he
Yeah.
went bishop c5 fast and tried to make sure he's trading it. I mean, in the end game, black should be better, though.
Yeah, because you have this isolated pawn.
Right, and it's going to be bishop versus knight, pawns on both sides of the board. There's going to be a pretty easy entrance for black. If rooks and queens get off the board, the king can go to e5, put pressure. That pawn may be falling. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but he does have a pretty safe way to play for a win without being worried that something may happen. He seems to be playing pretty confident. He has more time than his opponent, like 1 hour 22 to 48 for white. White being the one with 5 out of 5.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday. Brewington had a lot more time compared to his opponent.
Right.
And that's how he was able to finesse the draw.
I mean, when you're the stronger player, as long as you're playing confident enough, sometimes psychology plays an important role, especially in kids tournaments. I think it can play a very important role because you know you're good. You know you can come up with cool ideas eventually. So yeah.
Yeah, I was always really scared when good people always played really fast against me.
Yeah.
It was never a good sign.
But you don't know. You always have to double check. I feel like you always have to double check the opponent. You should never really trust them, because they may be tricking you. Let's check out board 2 again and see how did the position advance. I mean, it was a really good position for black. We said like d5 typically equalizes, but here it equalized with a huge plus for black. And queen b6. Yeah, that rook in f2 just was like a silly.
Yeah, then you have to go back and then.
Okay,
things
so
like rook d8 are coming too.
Yeah, so he did take the bishop pair, which I like for black, and then knight c1. Okay, to avoid bishop takes b3.
Okay, this just looks.
It looks
Bad,
unpleasant.
though. Yeah.
And it would be nice if you could play rook a3 and bring your rook into play that way, but it's hanging. It is hanging. So maybe rook d8 now for black, and then I guess. Oh, that's what you want to play. Okay, I thought maybe bishop. But of course.
Yeah. The ideas of like f5, e4.
Yeah, but rook e1. I mean.
Yeah, maybe bishop d3 is better. I was just trying to get rid of this knight on c1.
Even queen e2. No, I want to trade queens. I feel like if white manages to trade queens, is not doing as badly in these positions.
I'm not sure if I like knight e3 here.
Universal Chess Life is agreeing with us that psychology in general is important. Yes, it is very important. Actually, not just, obviously, we're looking at a middle school national championship, but I think it's important in all tournaments for all players. Older times when there were matches and like world champions, a lot of them who have written books or have talked about it do believe psychology is important. And I believe Garry Kasparov was one of those like first ones that emphasized on psychology very much. I think he had his own, psychology person to talk to him, walk him through losses. He just showed so much like energy when he was playing. I think it was just amazing. Whether he was winning or losing, he was just, in my opinion, like that's who I grew up to see as a world champion for a really long time. So I would see him really really tough. You need to have tough nerves. Was there a world champion that impressed you or that you felt inspired by? Or
I thought they were all pretty cool.
Okay.
I don't know. I really liked watching Korchnoy's games, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he was an interesting character. He lived a really long life and was always he felt that he was discriminated against in the Soviet Union. That's why he had to leave and move to Switzerland. And yeah, he always thought Karpov was getting much more than he did. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Korchnoy sunglasses story. I don't know the Korchnoi sunglasses story. Maybe you want to let us know about it. Do you know any Korchnoi sunglasses?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a specific story. I mean, I know he was going to play games. I mean, he was also, like, he was very tough. I've seen a video of him when he lost to Sofia Polgar, so the middle of the Polgar sisters. He was not very happy. I think a lot of men had trouble earlier with losing to women. I know I've seen a game that he lost to her, and it was tough to see him lose, but it was nice to see, it's always nice to see a female make beautiful games against top players. Oh, okay. He wore the sunglasses to play Karpov and hide his eyes from Karpov's stare. Got it. A lot of people stare at each other. Did you ever try to utilize that, by the way?
Oh, no, I always hated it when people stared at me while I played, because I was just trying to think and do my thing, but then they would always look at me. But then...
Because you're looking to try to see where, on which side of the board someone's looking. I feel like I learned to do that. I don't do it much, but sometimes, you meet the eyes of the other player. And I was always taught that if it was my move, obviously, like if I would catch my opponent's stare, I should just go back to my game and focus on it. And I remember once my mom was telling me, like, but if it's your opponent's turn, you can stay and stare at them and just be like that and look at them like for the whole time, and then it's their time, so it's gonna run. And it hadn't happened to me until this year's US Championship.
No, yeah, I know there are one or two players in the US Championship.
But like seriously, I don't know if you played against her, but Tokhirjanova, Guruk Begim.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, like I was playing against her, and like at some point she started looking, like she kept looking at me, and it was really annoying. Like most players, okay, you look a little bit, maybe you smile if you know each other, but literally she was, and then it was her turn, and she started looking at me, and I was like, okay, I was looking, and literally I couldn't stare, like she stared me down on her time. I was like, why did I do it? But I just couldn't. It's just I was about to start laughing, and I was like, okay, I probably should stop doing this. It's not really fun but people have said, and I've talked to different top players, and they were like, yeah, that's a really cool thing to do. It's really annoying the opponent if you do it. But then, is it fair play? I don't know. I tend to like to be fair play.
Maybe feel like it's just a power move to just like have a staring contest during the game. Like your opponent looks at you, and then you just look back until they look away.
I know. But
but then if they don't look away, then that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like she did it on her turn, and she was literally stayed for like a minute. I couldn't stay more. I just got bored. I was like, okay, I'm not really interested to keep looking into your eyes. That's it. That is it. But anyways, someone says Hans does that. Hans Simon, I guess, is talking about.
I can see that.
Yeah, Universal Chess Life believes Gary would win before the game started. It's funny. It's really funny. Looks like Pete does not like when people stare at him. It's sort of weird. It is, but hey, if it works and it gets the opponent distracted, some people do it. It's not fair play, but some players don't really play fair play. So
yeah,
it's really tricky. I don't know what to say. I mean, I try to teach, if I have a student, I try to teach them to be fair play and not do things that would annoy their opponents. But psychology is definitely important, and
well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Just annoy them, get the win.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But it's not chess, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried once to go with sunglasses. I wasn't allowed.
Oh, really?
I don't remember what tournament, yeah. And then I have these glasses that look like they're actual glasses, but they are not real glasses. They're sunglasses, but they look like real. They just have this, the lens are like just maybe changing a little bit the color if you go outside. So they're supposed to be sunglasses, but they're like pretty clear. So I sometimes wore those at tournaments because I feel like it kept me be more focused. And when you have glasses, it's much harder for the opponent to stare you down. But yeah,
Did it
Anyways.
work?
It worked, yeah. I was being quite focused. I didn't need to wear glasses. My parents forced me when I was 6 or 7. I mean, we went to this, to get checked, and then they were like, yeah, you need glasses like 0.5 or something, plus 0.5. But like really, I didn't need them. I think I just faked it because I thought it was cool to have glasses, and then I was like, oh no, this is not cool anymore. So I don't know. These days, you can't even bring your own pen. What do you think about that part? That you can bring your own pen?
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah, in some tournaments you're not allowed to bring your
really?
pen. Yeah.
Oh.
I was really distracted one time because they didn't announce that in the rules. Everyone had their own pen, but we were provided by the organizer, so I had my own lucky pen.
Yeah, I also have a lucky pen.
And I went with that. And then during the game, it was a world championship. I was playing against Tan Zhongyi, who became world champion that year. They came to me, like 2 of the arbiters, and they were like, Sabina, come here. I was like, okay, I'm playing, leave me alone. But they were like, actually, you're not allowed to use your own pen, so you need to use the... I was like, it's in the middle of the round. You can let me finish and check it if you want. It's just a pen. It just happened to be a lucky one. And then they were like, yeah, no, you're not allowed. So I got really distracted by that. I think arbiters should not be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
If they catch you, they should catch you. I mean, they catch you.
Like before the game starts.
They should be like, no pens allowed. Just make sure you keep it in your purse or whatever. Just use the one that's provided. Like, yeah. Do you have superstitions?
I do.
Okay. Do you want to share them or? I think I've changed them through time, so I'm not.
Yeah, I change them whenever I lose a game. But I remember I do have routines like before the U.S. Championships. I would always listen to the same playlist of songs.
To get you motivated.
Yeah, wake up at the same time, eat the exact same food, which got a little boring after
some games.
Yeah, but yeah, and then I would always walk with my mom to the tournament hall. I would wear a jacket on the walk because it was usually cold, but then I would not wear it into the game because I thought it was a little bit unlucky.
Okay. That's funny.
And then after the game, I don't know, after I don't have as many superstitions, but I always have like one pen that I use.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one that especially after mom passed away, like I had one from her, so I was using that, and like both she and I were I mean, I wasn't qualified, but some of the players did not go, so I did end up going for that world championship, and I used the pen that I had from my mom, and then they let me write with it in the first game because it was knockout tournament, and then the second game they didn't let me, so I thought it was so. Yeah, for me it was mostly lucky pen. I don't think like clothing or anything has affected me very much. Food, no. I think although that year that I won the championship, we would go with Elshan to eat sushi. Like that was my thing. Sushi's my favorite food.
The sushi place like right across.
Yeah. That place was like amazing. I love sushi so much that I could eat sushi. Like if I would have to choose a food, it would be sushi.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, and it's I'm really curious. I would be curious to know if some of these players have. I think it's good to learn not to have too many superstitions.
But also sometimes I think it's also psychological. Like you feel more confident when you have like that one pen.
Yeah.
Oh, I also had lucky hair ties and like
cool.
a lucky earring.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just like if I wear that, I'm like, oh, like I have to win. I'm wearing everything lucky right now.
And what if you were losing? Like if you were happening and you would lose? Would you change it completely? You would change everything completely. Got it. Yeah. Until you found the lucky one again. Got it. Okay. Cool. Okay, well, let's. Do you wanna maybe take a break?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then we'll be back with.
Too much is going on right now.
Yeah, there's some cool games, but we'll take a short break, guys, and we'll be back with the final moments of these games. Don't forget, stay tuned, and once again, if you want to support US Chess, you can always do so by making a donation, subscribing. If you do enjoy, specifically for this tournament, US Chess has created emotes. So if you're one of those players who enjoys emotes on Twitch, you can subscribe and you're gonna get an emote with myself and with Emily. So that's a cool thing. And if you do have Amazon Prime, you can do it for free. So it doesn't cost you a thing. Just make sure you subscribe with Prime, and that's gonna support US Chess, and you will get awesome emotes. So it's totally up to you. But we hope you stay close, and we'll be seeing you in about 5 to 10 minutes.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to round 6 of the 2022 National Middle School Championships. We're back on our break, and we've seen a lot of games just progress through pretty quickly. I think before our break, a lot of them were starting to slow down, but yeah, we can take a look at first board and just go from there.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we went off around after Queen takes e5, I think move 18-19, right, when Black got the chance to get his pawn back, and we weren't sure if that was the right thing to do, not losing, but giving back the bishop pair. And we thought Black was like slightly better, but maybe we did like the position a little bit earlier with the bishop pair, but White has that isolated pawn in e4, and it's kind of interesting to see how this game is gonna go. Obviously there are still weaknesses on the dark squares on the queen side, but I don't think White has something very decisive, like nothing decisive at all. And if Black manages to defend, and we were saying if trades are gonna happen, Black is gonna do okay, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even have chances to win here.
Mm-hmm. So I played knight a4. We were talking about how bad the knight was on c3. Just trying to do something, get a check in. Going back to c4.
Yeah, trying to get some space. I like this idea.
Because you definitely don't want to take.
Yeah, because you're helping.
Because you get rid of this isolated pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Rook a8. Huh.
But it was strange that here he did trade in d8. Like, I'm not sure if that was the wise decision for White.
Because if you want to take, then just do something else.
Yeah, maybe he changed his mind once Black played rook there. He was like, okay, I'll just take and go e5. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's an interesting idea for sure, to try to take advantage of f6 and get rid of your isolated pawn. But bishop e6 might have been a move that he missed.
Yeah, I guess what happens if the immediate f takes e5?
Is there a possibility for White to activate the queen? Yeah. Bishop e2 after that, maybe? I was thinking f7, but then maybe not. Maybe not queen f7. What about queen c5?
I like queen c5 because you kind of tie down this rook because of rook f8 ideas.
Yeah, that's my idea, but I think rook d5 is an option here for Black, and then if you check bishop c8.
Bishop c8.
Yeah, just trying to stay as safe as possible.
Yeah, probably not too great. I also was the idea after f5 then.
What about queen g3, as you wanted to point out earlier? Is there bishop e2 and we got nothing? Literally nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing, or just hanging some pieces. Okay, so what about queen e3? Okay, I'm just gonna try to get my pawn back. You can still go rook d5, but now you're not coming in with tempo, so I do have rook f8 check and knight b6 maybe.
Yeah, no, this is not good.
That's not very pleasant for Black. You have a check in d1, but that's about it. That's all you have.
e8, but this isn't really a move that you want to make.
Well, now maybe I can go queen c5 and trying to get my knight to d6. Mm-hmm. White wants to somehow infiltrate. It's just sometimes giving the pawn like that, just sacrificing, can be helpful to get the square where the pawn was. So you might want to utilize e4 square for a knight, or maybe the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there nothing else? Are we missing something, or is it just compensation?
I believe it might just be compensation. I don't see. I mean, queen f7 doesn't.
Queen h4.
Bishop e2.
Yeah. Rook f7. Does that work? No, because then you have rook d1.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Then I take with check. Yeah. So he just didn't want to take it. Is bishop e6 better? Because bishop e6 comes in with tempo to the knight, and then if you take in f6, I take your knight.
Here?
That's what happened. No, like in the game. Maybe he thought bishop f6 is better because he's actually winning a piece instead of a...
Oh, wait.
Is he though after queen c5? Is this a move he could have missed? Because rook f8, queen c5, you have to take in f7, and then he's gonna take in c4. You know it, and
can he? I don't think he can take on c4
no,
though, right?
queen b6, king h1.
Oh, rook is defended. Oops.
Wait. Oh no, but the cool thing is that white actually attacks the queen in f7. The rook in f7.
No, you cannot.
No, but you can take in b2 maybe.
Yeah. Because you're defending g7.
Right. And queen endgames are always very tricky. Definitely a kind of position that you want to play for win.
Yeah, there's no perpetual. I think black can solidly play for the win here.
Yeah.
So after rook f7.
It's kind of forcing. You kind of have to take the bishop.
c4.
And then check, king h1. Everything is pretty much forcing. So seems like we're going to have that queen endgame with an extra pawn. So Brewington may just, overpass the leader and then get back into the lead. We're having a request to check out board 11.
I don't think we've seen this game yet. Oh, but it looks like white's just solidly up a piece.
Extra piece, yeah. What has been going on over here? What opening was this? c4, okay, English. Oops. We've seen this line yesterday, but it was like d4, e takes f6. So now black is agreeing to play some kind of French. Not quite. I always find it strange when people who play the French or the pawn structure go knight c6 instead of c5. Like, it bothers me. Maybe it works, but I just feel like it's
just looks awkward.
Yeah, you need space and you need to attack the center.
You need to attack, yeah.
I don't know if black gets sufficient here. He does have the d5 outpost. I'm not gonna deny that, but wow. Is that possible? I guess it was, because g6, we just sack it.
Did he miss this? Or maybe his plan was to attack d4?
I mean, maybe it's not a big thing, but bishop e4, and this is quite typical. Take the pawn, go back, and okay, maybe you're a little bit worried about where you're gonna castle, but you're not in a rush since the center is totally closed. This seems really bad.
Yeah, this just looks good for white.
Yeah.
King f8 is never really a move you want to make if you can avoid it, especially because you don't really have this. It's kind of difficult to go g6, king g7, maybe, because there are always ideas
of sacrificing g6 if you play g6.
Yeah. I don't know. This looks a little suspicious.
Very suspicious. I think black messed up way too soon, and white took his time. He's got the extra pawn, better piece placement. Queen c5, love that move. Okay.
So where did he lose a piece?
f4. I mean, this position is just brilliant. Yeah. It seems like this game was just one-sided. Black blundered early in the game, and then it is just...
Yeah.
It's resignable. So, yeah.
Black is a
1600 who had 3 upset wins. That's pretty nice.
Well, he's not getting his fourth.
It's unfortunately not, but he's... Yeah, that's great that he's upset so many players. Anish Krishnan, I can actually check. Maybe you want to bring up the standings for a second and just... check out so maybe go on the standings, and then Anish is on 4 points. He's 1572, and
he's in 4th grade. So he beat a 1900, another 1900.
Wow.
And like an 1850.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Well done on that. Unfortunately, okay, maybe it was very tough on him getting to play so many strong players, but
it's okay, it happens.
It happens. Well, beautiful result. Yeah. Well, hopefully he comes back and wins last round just to continue that great performance. And he's from Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay,
so let's go back to the games.
I think board 2 was a board that we were looking at quite a lot, and we had stopped in a position where we thought black was equalizing with plus, but eventually like black just got this brilliant.
Yeah, because of the whole rook f2,
rook f2, and even f3 idea was probably a really terrible decision for white. I mean, those are typical ideas, but really in some of these Sicilians, if you're messing up the lines a little bit, you can just get worse positions, and here the bishop pair proved to be really annoying for white. If we keep going forward, it will look like white captured all of the pawns. Literally captured all of the pawns, but
as an attack in. Yeah, this kind of rough. Because you can't take with the rook here. Because then you run into a rook check, and then you just take and then take on h2.
That's a nice mate.
But then you also can't take with the queen because h2 hangs. You have to go queen.
I think he took with the rook, and he's gonna fall for that mate, unfortunately.
Because if you go queen f2, then rook d2. Rook d2 comes in regardless.
It's mate.
Yeah.
Wow, tough loss for Brian. Well done for Jonathan.
You had a good run.
He did get a good run. The other game that we were super much looking at was that the game of Jed Sloan, board 5.
After he fell for knight takes b4.
Yeah, it seems like maybe he got back into the game. And by the way, we want to let you know, yes, US Chess has changed their points. They're like for watching us, you're getting centipawns. Actually, that's a cool thing that I haven't seen. I need to figure out how they did it, because I need to do that on my own stream too. But if you do want to get amazing emotes, and if you want to support US Chess, I highly recommend subscribing on Twitch, or of course you can always make a donation for US Chess to support your if you have like something or a specific thing that interests you more, like maybe you want to support women in chess or kids at risk. US Chess is working to try to support the different groups. I think it's really nice because you want everyone to have the opportunity to have a chess set if they want to play, and then have the opportunity to play. And so if that is something you're interested in, you can always check out the different ways that you can support US Chess and the different programs that US Chess is running.